In your order of service this morning is a little saying from Amiri Baraka. The word art is something the West has never understood. Art is supposed to be a part of a community. Now, Amiri Baraka ties together our traditions between Christopher and I. I studied with the Beat Poets, as some of you know. Allen Ginsberg was my great mentor. And one of his good friends back in the 50s days was Leroy Jones, who later converted to Islam and became Amiri Baraka, who's still alive and still upsetting the apple cart and, working things. Oh, did he pass? Oh, okay. So did Ginsberg. So, yeah, well, that generation is gone. But, so there's kind of a tie between this idea of performance art that goes from the beat days of more or less improvisational, in-process kind of art, and then goes into the rap and hip-hop kinds of traditions that go on. I don't even remember when you and I met. Do you? It's been a long time.
It's been a while, David.
It's been a while. Yeah, we've been working on this for a while. Somewhere, some GA or other, and we started working, and I don't know, mind meld or something. We were doing the process poetry thing, and
I do remember though you and I collaborated on a poetry slam at General Assembly in Louisville, Kentucky.
That's right. Yeah, we finally convinced them. I mean, we've been working on it a long time to get a poetry slam going, and they couldn't figure out. I guess the GA folk couldn't figure out what a poetry slam would look like. And then we did one, and I think it kind of scared them, and when they haven't let us do it again. So it's like, we can't give too many people the microphone, right? It's sort of going on with that. So, yeah, but we've written poetry together that we performed. We've got some stuff here. Yeah. Some of you have heard of Soul Matters. We did some Soul Matters stuff together, and we did one that I didn't pull out because it's too silly about community gardens. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was. I think that was our first.
That was yeah. So the community. Yeah, I don't remember the refrain on that.
Being communitarian.
Yeah, we were being communitarian unitary. That's right. That's right. So we were So we've done quite a bit of that sort of thing, and so I was so happy that we could get Christopher up here today to do a little bit of poetry for us. We're going to start off with some stuff that we've done together and wrote just for this occasion and that kind of stuff. So let's go.
David, it should not be just us, just black people fighting the hate and the evil that is so unjust and unbelievable. Got my people feeling stressed and unequal. And you and I know that the Constitution is so deceitful.
We need love. I think we did that together. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Christopher, brother, it was all a lie. Now we can see it was all a lie. All that Columbus, all that Constitution, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. It can be the truth at last. The truth at last. Those lies that made some of us 3/5 a person. 3/5 a person. And a rich white man got those votes, as a matter of fact. It was all a lie. It was all a lie. We can call it a lie at last. My brother, it was all a lie. We can say at last, but it doesn't have to be. Now, in a new day, it can be the truth at last. The truth that we all, and let's mean all, are all free at last.
At last. Free at last, because one day injustice will be the past, and we'll be past the oppression, past the segregation, past the continuation of unjust and unequal laws that has equality on pause. Love wins all. Love does not have to fight. Love has the might to comfort and protect all of us. Love and justice for the free. Love and justice for you and me. Love and justice for eternity. Love and justice right now will balance the scales. To love, there is nothing parallel. Brother David, those two things will set us all free and will be what the universe intended us to be.
Ashe. I don't know if you all know that. Yoruba saying. Hey, what do you want to talk? Do you want to talk Beauty? Here's what I want to talk. Beauty is what I'm going to talk. Beauty is. Beauty is.
Beauty is brown, white, yellow, red-skinned people acting as kin. Beauty is within. It's within. It's within. Beauty is hymns holistically reaching us, holding us all. Beauty is the fall of stereotypes, assessing human rights, the call for justice in the day and in the night. Beauty is.
And beauty does. Do you want to talk beauty? Here's what I want to talk. Beauty is you. Beauty is us. Beauty is us together. Beauty is, and that shuts up hate.
Down.
It's down. Yeah. All right, my last little bit here. My brother Christopher, it's time I called you out. I'm calling you out to say how patient you have been. I remember both of us so many murders ago. We wore black hoodies and we read poems when Trayvon Martin was murdered, when Trayvon's life ended so many murders ago. But here's the thing. I went home and I took my hoodie off and I was not in danger anymore. And I was safe once more. But you went home and you took your hoodie off, and still you were. And still you were. The screen for America's projections, still you were what America hates and fears. And you, brother, loved me despite what I did. You did not call my white assumptions out. My brother Christopher, it's time I called you out. I'm calling you out because your love is deeper than mine. Because I go home and I drop the protest signs, I take off the hoodie, and I'm safe to write my poems, to sort out my poems, trite, trivial BS. But my brother Christopher, you love so much. You only call gently, lovingly, telling me I can take my hoodie off. I can be safe when you, my brother, remain that black man, that feared and hated one. Christopher, brother, keep calling all of us out. My brother, I wish so hard that you did not have to be like some Messiah every day saving me and so many like me from our own darkness. You, brother, do not deserve that weight to carry. You, brother, deserve the chance to take that hoodie off a while. My brother, like Jesus, you do not exist to save the likes of me from myself. How patient you are, dear brother, patiently being when all the projections go up, making you, always making you be something about danger, about needing protection. Christopher, my brother, my deepest thanks for letting me have my stupid assumptions. I'm so sorry it came to this before either of us even were. My brother Christopher, it's time I called you out. Let's put those hoodies on together. May I someday be worthy of never taking mine off.
Sure. Ashe. Thank you, my dear brother and friend, David. And as I get organized here, I'll delve into the continuing of these messages that are so much needed and so real and so honest and so just. This is entitled Black Men's Prayer Before Entering Spaces with White People. And I had an edited version, but planning and traveling and moving around and mixing, this one should do just fine. And I can edit while I'm reading this just also. Don't edit. Dear Goddess, dear God, dear universe, dear Great Spirit, dear Allah, please protect me, give me guidance as I enter these spaces with white folk who might be scared, nervous, uncomfortable, or even feel as if everything belongs to them, belongs to them, belongs to them, belongs to them, belongs to them. That includes the streets I walk on, the neighborhoods I stroll into, the health facilities I work out in, the churches I step into, the airports I get myself to. Dear Goddess, God, Universe, Great Spirit, Allah, may they understand I am just a man who was placed here living without worry or fear. Year after year, I'm becoming more confident, brave, at peace with myself, at peace with myself, at peace with myself, at peace with myself. May they understand there's divine forces. Their street, their neighborhood, their gym is mine too, is mine too, is mine too, is mine too, is mine too. They create the fear when they say or do the things that they do. Oh, dearest divine forces, I don't want no problems with them or the police. They may call when they see me walking through their pristine blocks, listening to hip-hop in my earphones, hip-hop in my earphones, hip-hop in my earphones, hip-hop in my earphones. I'm just trying to exercise, breathe, make it back home, breathe and make it back home, breathe and make it back home, make it back home, make it back home. Dear Goddess, dear God, Universe, Allah, Great Spirit, keep us safe. Here in Charlottesville, I was in Charlottesville 2 years ago when Heather Heyer was killed. It was real. That was the deal. It made me feel ugly. It made me feel stuck. I had no luck. We had no trust in one another in Charlottesville. I heard about Heather Heyer dying in Charlottesville, just a few blocks away from where I was in Charlottesville, I did make it back home. I am here, and Minneapolis is now my home. Shalom. Shalom, peace, shalom. Thank you. Yes, I sure was. 2 years ago, I was in Charlottesville, Virginia. That same weekend, Heather Heyer was killed. I was actually there as a witness. I was called down by the Black Lives Matter Charlottesville group. I emailed them, I messaged them and asked them, could I be of service, could I be of help? And they said, yes, sure, come on down. And I did. And when I was there, Charlottesville, this country, it didn't feel like the USA. It didn't. It was ugly, it was horrible, it was tense, it was something that you didn't want to see. And I went as a witness. I wanted to see what was going on, and I saw it. There were neo-Nazis just feet away from me with guns walking down the block. I could see them with my very own eyes. It was a horrible scene. I hope to never, ever see anything like that in my life again. And I didn't see Heather Heyer get ran over, but I was at the Thomas Jefferson UU Memorial Church there, and I remember being up, sitting in the front, in a pew up front, and I looked back, and a Caucasian couple walked in. They had witnessed her getting ran over. And they were as red as my friend David's shirt there. And I couldn't even look at them very long because I'm an empath, so it hurt. It really hurt. And that was an experience that'll always live with me. So I'm going to jump from a powerful message like that into a piece that I think will help get me more centered here on stage. And it's a performance poetry piece. It's actually the first performance poem I wrote to memorize and to perform on stage. So this is called I Am a Poet. And this is justice for myself being a poet. I am a poet. I turn words into slaves, or better yet, sun rays. I am a poet. I turn words into slaves, or better yet, sun rays. I engrave page after 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 page with rhythmical rage. You see, once I engage, the page becomes my stage to wage wars with syllables, consonants, and vowels. Syllables, consonants, and vowels. Syllables, consonants, vowels. I howl in the thick of the night to conjure my poetical might. Each word written transforms into light. I am a poet. I dive deep into the infinite world of diction to bring forth image and vision. I'm a scientist who's always in the lab performing experiments with vocab. I am a poet. I'm a prophet of verb, creating logic with words. I must write and recite, 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 write and recite. I cannot resist the urge. I am a poet. Thank you. So I called David because I'm on the Mid-America region board, and David is too, so it's good to have some family in the house. Yeah, and I was just in Spokane at General Assembly, and it was a good time. Spokane is, how many of y'all been to Spokane, Washington? Beautiful place, right? Yeah, really enjoyed it there. Looking forward to Providence next summer. Yeah, looking forward to that. And David, you have to be there, man, because you weren't in Spokane this time. You have to be there, dude.
I know it. I'll be there.
Awesome. So because of a conversation I had today, I decided to flip the script and veer away from some of the pieces I had planned. So I'm all about environmental justice, ecology, people, all of this together, that kind of justice. So we owe the earth some justice. So I wrote this piece entirely for that. So this is entitled, The Return of Earth, She. This one might need some editing too, but I'll see as I get through it. No editing. I should put that on the t-shirt, no editing. The earth has returned. She is living, breathing, realizing her breath was leaving. She was needing us to remember her worth, to recognize her worth all over again. We used to be her friends. We used to help her heal us, help her heal us. And then she lost all trust and faith in us. She has returned mad, saddened. However, she's empowered by this new commitment we are signing on to. She wants you, me, and the rest of the human beings who populate this planet to never take Earth for granted again, to never take her for granted again, to never take her for granted again. If she is dying, then who wins? If she is dying, who wins? If Earth is dying, then who really wins? She is providing for species. We live in a cycle that provides for one another, that provides for one another. You and I, we are Earth's sisters and brothers. We must take care of one another. We must take care of one another. Her lungs are smothered with toxins, radioactive chemicals, and plastic she cannot digest. She has cancerous garbage in her breasts. We have polluted Earth to death. Unless we take a step forward and reverse our damaging effects. Our next steps should be radical movements that peacefully changes things. With civility. We have the ability. Earth is alive. We can't let her die. I want my Earth back. I want to take each of our solutions and turn them into solutions. We all have effective contributions. We need to turn our passion into action, execution. Drum circles, live spoken word theater, or even getting arrested. We are all a collective that can't be defeated. What about our children? What about future generations? Who is going to save the lungs of the ecosystem? Who is going to save the lungs of the ecosystem? Toxic water slaughters the frogs and the fish. Imagine how much they wish we didn't pollute their habitats. Clean water, clean air, imagine that. We need our earth back. She returns. We need our earth back. It is her turn. Thank you. That's for my new humanist friend back there. We need powerful, empowering poetry. Poetry that promotes positivity. Poetry that gives birth to revolution. We need poetry that encourages people to progress. Poetry that gives birth to revolution. We need poetry that puts on black dashikis, black pants, and black boots. Poetry that rises to run after the oppressor to oppose their rendering racism and sexism and homophobia. Poetry that challenges and films the boys in blue. Poetry that kicks butt when we sit back and shout, "Get 'em, poetry!" Poetry that gives birth to revolution. Black folk need poetry that gangsters the grime in the ghetto. Poetry that gathers gutless men, guiltless women, and guiltless children to guide them back to greatness. Poetry that disintegrates crack and evaporates alcohol so that we don't continue to fall into destruction. Poetry that gives birth to revolution. This world needs poetry that puts an end to poverty, to starvation, to homelessness, to AIDS, to cancer, to dehumanization, to gentrification, to mass incarceration, to unjust detention, to criminalization of those who are seeking immigration, to death during migration, to the horrible border situation. Poetry that gives birth to revolution. Thank you. Thank you. This is a piece that I just wrote a few days ago, and I had to delve into what Black love means to myself and what I've experienced because of Black love. This is entitled, "If We Are Going to Talk About Black Love." If we are going to talk about Black love, let's talk about unyielding love, sun-kissed children, the slow, easy pace of a people from southern states, the push for love, not hate, not hate, not hate. If we are going to talk about Black love, how about auntie hugs, uncle talks with nieces and nephews, vibrant, warm homes? If we are going to talk about Black love, real Black love, let us remember the two-step, the hip bump. Let us talk about Don Cornelius and Soul Train. Let us talk about slow dancing, romancing like us, immortalized in a Romare Breeden painting. Come on, let's talk about Black love, Black love. Let's talk about Black movies like Let's Do It Again, Car Wash, Coming to America, The Last Dragon, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, Brown Sugar, Love Jones, which is my favorite movie, by the way. Are you with me? Let's talk about Black love, Black music. Let's talk Prince, Michael Jackson, Sheila E., Midnight Star, Shaka Khan, James Brown, John Coltrane, The Temptations, The Commodores. Let's talk New Edition, Jagged Edge, Jill Scott, Black love music. Let's talk about Black Revolution music, Gil Scott-Heron, KRS-One, Black Star, Public Enemy. Come on. That's Black love. Black people, Black styles, Black struts, smooth Black skin, Black hair, Blackness with boldness as the backdrop to our mattering Black lives, our mattering Black lives. Because of Black love, we survive, we thrive, we thrive, we survive. Let's talk about Black love, because Black love never dies, never ever dies. How often do you talk about Black love? Black love. Thank you. Yeah, one more.
That's good. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah. Very nice. And we're going to talk some more about, kind of what poetry you can say in poetry that you can't say other places. I don't know. I mean, it's sort of a magic thing. I mean, I've been doing it 40-some years, and I still haven't figured it out. But there's something about it that works. So
It does.
we'll do that at noon today.
Some papers to flip through.
Yeah, yeah. What's to say, Christopher? I disappear into my whiteness.
And I stay black and loud, black and proud, black and unable to disappear. My skin causes fear, fear. David, remember how many white people called the police on black people last year? Everything I'll be, everything I'll do, it's all just me because whiteness will do. Because whiteness approves, whiteness moves on my block, and suddenly all blackness has to stop, has to pack up shop. I rock my hoodie and hope not to get pulled over and shot. It is sufficient.
I can pull my hoodie up. I can pull my hoodie off. I can put it away, and I can just be surfing on those gnarly waves of whiteness.
Those gnarly waves has forgot that 2019 makes it 400 years since my ancestors were first put on auction blocks here.
What's to say? I snap my fingers and I disappear. Who will fear me? Because I'm everywhere, surging on those gnarly waves of whiteness.
Those waves contain the souls of my people, the spirits of great nations. The invasions and enslavement cost us knowledge of self, cost us Africa's wealth, and they wonder why we are asking for reparations.
Ashe.
Ashe.
All right.